Hello and welcome to another Game Nexus video. Now this isn't going to be a review like I normally would do or any kind of taste test because I've had these things and yeah, I really like them. But the only thing is if you look on the back of this, if you couldn't read the box, it says these are sausage, egg, and cheese croissant breakfast sandwiches. The only thing that I don't like is the instructions. Oh, it's right here, it's just really small. It says, remove sandwich from wrapper, wrap in paper towel and microwave on high 90 seconds. Let rest 1 minute before consuming. Enjoy. Microwaves may vary, adjust heating times accordingly. The only problem with my microwave is I have the Panasonic Cyclonic inverter microwave, and one of two things is going to happen if I do what they say. It's either going to be dry and tasteless, or the first time I actually tried doing one of these in my microwave, it was actually like burned and the paper towel was like fused to the croissant. But honestly, that's not really the way to do one of these. If you want it to be more like a restaurant would, I'm going to show you how I do it right now. Now the only thing you're really going to need here is a paper plate. And now we're just going to go ahead and get one sandwich out of here. There we are. And then I'm going to just put the rest away because they're a frozen item and you don't want them to all defrost and everything. Just close the freezer. And now what we do here, instead of doing what package instructions told us to do, I'm going to show you what to do. What I do at least. This may or may not work for you. And of course, just as the box instruction says, cooking directions and instructions and whatnot may vary. So we're going to take the sandwich out, and now we're going to take it apart because we're going to cook the bread separately from the rest of it. And now here's our egg and our sausage. So I'm going to take the sausage patty and the egg patty and just kind of put them aside here. Now the cheese here, we're going to put on the paper plate. And let me get you over to the toaster here, which is just over to the right. So here's our toaster. And I'm going to try to get things a bit better situated here. But yeah, there we go. And now this is one thing I did because I have figured this out over a few times making these. Put the croissant in the toaster, of course. That kind of goes without saying. And now the slice of cheese on the plate, place it on top of the toaster because it's frozen. And this kind of just melts it enough so that it is soft enough that when the hot egg and sausage hit the cheese, they'll melt it the rest of the way. And in the next part of this video, I'll explain why I did this. So, just put the toaster on, and within a few minutes, we will have a fully toasted croissant, and I will come back to you once we're at that point. So, we're gonna wait a few minutes, and I'll show you what we have. Oh, and you can hear my coffee maker over there. It's currently making coffee because it's morning and I'm about to have breakfast. A few moments later. Okay, now that we're done with the toaster, our croissant is nice and toasted, just right. You can toast it more if you want, of course. And our cheese is kind of a little bit melty, so that's going to help. So next what we're going to do is take our sausage and egg patties over to the microwave. Just place them on this paper towel that I folded into the microwave. And of course, this is one of those places where microwave times will vary, but what I will do is 30 seconds, let them go for a while. And now what I was saying before is that the reason why I had done the thing with the cheese is because I originally had put the cheese on the actual egg at this stage, and it would just melt all over the place and you'd end up losing most of the cheese. So the idea to put it on the plate and have it kind of just melt on the toaster was an idea that I had that worked out, and now it's part of my method. So now what I'm going to do is take a look. Typically at this point, not quite done. Give them both a flip. And then I do just 20 more seconds. Got to be careful. They're a little bit greasy, so there is a little bit of slipperiness. And now just a few more seconds here and we will have our breakfast completed. Yep, now we're all set. Now just pop open the microwave. And the one thing I like to do is, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, get everything out here. We're gonna close the microwave there and go back to the counter here. And usually what I just like to do is take another paper towel, pat some of that grease off, because the sausage patty, it has a lot of grease. Now we're just gonna assemble the sandwich like we normally would. Take the bottom piece, put it here, and you can do this in any order you want. It's all up to you. Typically I like to put the cheese in the middle because that will, how do you say it? That will actually cause the cheese to melt a little bit. Our egg is actually a little bit cold, so I'm gonna give it about 10 seconds. And then that should probably do it. It's just like, you ever feel like your food and you're like, oh, that's slightly cold, it's not gonna be great. So here we are, that should, yep, that did it. As I said, it's all kind of an experiment, but this just typically will make your sandwich a lot better. A little bit of the croissant came off, but yep, and there you have it. Now you got yourself, the contents inside are nice and hot. Your croissant is nice and crispy, and it makes for a lot better sandwich than wrapping it in a paper towel and calling it a day. Sure, this takes a lot longer, but it's kind of one of those things. Would you rather it be done quick or done right? And honestly, I'd rather it be done right. And that crispiness of the croissant is 100% worth it in the end for a little bit of extra trouble. It was only like 2 times ago making one of these that I started to do that thing with the cheese, because I thought to myself, it's just a slice of cheese, it just needs to be melted ever so slightly, and by putting it on top of that paper plate on the toaster, it kind of melts it and makes it no longer frozen. And then of course the food that you put it between defrosts it even more. Well, this was another Game Nexus breakfast video. If you want to try this and you like these things, I like the Price Chopper ones, which is what these are. The Walmart ones, they're good as well. The Jimmy Dean ones I just found to be a little bit disappointing. Like, they don't have as much flavor and they just don't taste as good. And it's one of those weird situations where the name brand one just wasn't as good as all the generics. But yeah, this has been another Game Nexus breakfast video, and I shall see you later. Bye.